to another summer campaign video with me, Jack, and
me, Will.
Yes,
and it's still the summer.
And it's still the summer. It's a normal summer now. As we said, the temperatures have dropped. Go back and watch previous videos to understand that it still is dangerous to be out there if you are of ill health, homeless and or vulnerable. Even though it's dropped from the 40-degree heat it was. Thankfully that's gone. Although I was reading in a dodgy newspaper, I didn't buy the newspaper, I just saw it online, that we might get 3 more of those this year, so who knows. But this week we are going to take a slight left turn and talk about something that still is important during the summer, something that happens every year to us as a charity and every other charity across the country. And that is, Will, the level of donations. Everybody, when it comes around to Christmas, everybody knows that it's time for goodwill. Yeah. It's cold out there, it's unpleasant, people want to donate. But when it comes around to the warm weather, Will, it's not necessarily on people's minds. And across the country, donations of food fall off a cliff.
Yeah, so we do get a significant increase in demand through those 6 weeks of holiday. And then if you layer on top of that the cost of living crisis, then we are seeing a significant increase in numbers, more sustained. And I think perhaps people are, when they're thinking about food banks, it's not as alert to them in the summer as it is in the winter.
Well, it's a holiday period. Yeah. I mean, it's quite easy to get into that mindset of, we see it's extended throughout the summer holidays with children being off school, but it's the same over Christmas, children are at home. You've got end of term holidays, half term holidays. We see an uptick in food requests when children are at home. Especially during the summer, a lot of people think, everybody's away on holiday. We can just chill out for a bit. Nobody needs feeding. But we mustn't forget that every child who is on free school meals goes home and they're expected to be fed then, even though they can't be fed during the school time.
So the usual places, the amazing support we get from Tesco's, Asda, the co-ops, all those boxes and bags at the end of the checkout or wherever it is, they still get filled, but they're not quite as full as they have been. And some of the commentary we've had back is just an indicator that the cost of living crisis is impacting. So what we're saying is that it is even more important than ever over the next couple of months, particularly as that increase in terms of cost is going to escalate, that people you kindly continue to do that. It still remains vital to keeping us going and being able to supply food.
Yeah, and we one of the things we always say at House of Bread is making things as easy as possible for people to donate. And one way that you could have a more of an impact during the summer is if you donate financially, maybe during the month of August or leading up to August and August, is to donate what you would donate financially, but food. Because the food intake does dramatically go up because, like we said, because of the children being off school. And there are things that people are doing well across the country. Businesses are stepping in. Asda are doing £1 for a hot meal for children in their cafes. Which is absolutely fantastic. So this is all information that you can pass on to anybody. You can do it casually in conversation, not to say, hey, look, you might need this because your child's on this, this and this.
And that's the other thing is that it's affecting a lot more people now. So the assumption would be that perhaps people in the past who needed help continue to need it, but that perhaps others who don't fall classically into that category actually might need that help. So just be alert to that, your neighbours and your family and friends, because it is a major problem,
And there are a lot of people at the moment who are just about managing, that's an old phrase from many, many years back, thank you Theresa May, and then when it comes to the extra cost of children at home, they're not on benefits, they can't claim those extra benefits for that month, but they slip into to debt, there are more expenditures going out than coming in, and it can just snowball, and then Christmas is around the corner.
The other thing that has been shared with me in the last 24 hours is that some of the money that's come into a lot of people's accounts has been used on food. This is money destined to pay for the gas,
the extra bills
because you need the food, you've got ready cash. So, there's a real lot of hard choices, and your utility costs throughout the whole year. So if you're paying a direct debit or regular payments, those don't diminish. They're based on your average, so they go throughout the summer. So it's really important, if you're in a position to hold that money for whatever reason, that's fine, but a lot of people aren't, because they are struggling with employment or no employment, and so that money is being used absolutely in essence to pay for food now.
And not to be too doom mongering, is that a phrase? The price cap that will go up in October is already wiping out the financial support that the government have offered. So there are dark times ahead, but it is the summer, and that's always a more expensive time for families. Food banks across the country, so this is literally for everywhere. Every charity that deals with food banks or vulnerable people during these months, donations really dip. So if you want to encourage anybody, spread the word that summer is the time. Christmas, loads of people who don't donate throughout the year suddenly get involved.
Christmas,
and Christmas is boom time. It's fantastic. It is a wonderful time of year to be generous, but if you really want to make a difference, the summer months are always really important to get those extra donations in. Be that to us or anybody.
Wherever.
All ends up in hungry people's mouths.
And I do know some of the people who commented on watching this have spoken to friends who live further afield, and their experience in terms of talking to our food bank has been really helpful for others. So you're right, Jack. It is about across, even up in Orkney. So Rosemary, it's really important. And we always want to be optimistic, but we are also absolutely realistic. It's we're not saying this in a political way. Things are really tricky, and we need to manage the next year, I guess, and work smartly and applaud your support, your continued support.
100%. Right, thank you, Will, for
that was upbeat.
it was an upbeat kind of ending. Thanks, Will, for joining me and going through all that.
That's all right, thank you.
Do you want to do your world stage joke again?
No,
because I cut that. We mess it up, so he's cut it.
I don't think it was that funny of you.
It wasn't. That's why it was cut out. Thank you very much for watching. As always, like we just said, this isn't Hob specific. If you want to know more about House of Bread, if you're local to Stafford, check out Hob News. That goes up on Sundays at 4 or Saturdays by mistake if I press the wrong button. But as always, we are so thankful for your donations. We're always thankful for everybody who likes, shares and watches these videos week in, week out. We know who you are. There's probably just one of you out there. Hi, Mum. But until next time, once more, thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.